and so many people are like, you're helping with my trading, but I'm healthier now. I've got better habits now.
Yeah.
I'm making better choices now. And, it's like, how do you put a number on it? But it's like, I just want to, at the end of the day, if I'm here another day, another year, another 100 years, I just want to leave the world a better place. And if I can help somebody, pursue their passion and because that's most people that succeed at trading are people that love it. We talk about that a lot. I mean, it's like, you see the get rich quick, the I want the money people, they kind of come and go, but the people that love it, they're the ones that stick around.
Aloha, everybody, and welcome back to the Steady Trade podcast. Today is a very special day. Stephen Johnson and I want to honor and interview our co-host, the one and only Tim Bohen, because today is January 20th. You might think, oh, inauguration day? No, much more important, Tim Bohen's manufacturing date. And today we welcome and wish happy birthday to our one and only Tim Bohen. Happy birthday. Should we sing, Stephen?
I don't think you would like that.
So welcome, Tim Bohen, to Stephen and Kim's podcast today. How are you?
Good. Thank you, guys. And, I'm looking forward to it. I one thing that, we talked about it before the podcast. I'm not a big fan of when the spotlight's on me. I prefer to put the spotlight on others, but I'm here. I'm ready. Let's go. So
awesome.
I mean, if I could just start, Tim, what I like to do with my guests, Tim, is I like to go back to the start. I like to go back to the start with my guests. So Tim, if you can just tell us how you got into finance, what drove the inspiration. We don't need to tell the pizza story and when you're delivering the pizzas. We've heard that a few times, but just what caught your eye in the stock market?
Well, I'll take you. You wanted to go back, so we'll go way back. So, growing up, I grew up in a small town in Middle Michigan, and we used to live in town, a town of 1,000 people. But we lived in town, and we moved out of that house midway through 4th grade. And the only reason I bring that up is I remember being at that house and waiting for Dad to bring home the newspaper. Dad worked at Federal Mogul. I think FDML used to be the ticker, but they're bankrupt now, taking away all his health care and everything, which is great. So anyway, that being said, so for whatever reason, Dad worked 7 to 3, worked at the factory as a tool and die operator. And then, he would come home, drop the paper off, get dinner, and then go out to the farm, my family farm that they actually live at now. Been in the family for, I think, almost 150 years now. So anyway, he'd get home at 3:30, eat, drop off the newspaper, go out to the farm. And I would always remember looking at the newspaper and just looking at the charts, or not the charts, the tables, I should say, because back then, I think, this is 1984-ish. You'd probably have like a Dow chart, but everything else was just the tables, open, close, open price, close price, percent change, volume maybe. And I'd look at Federal Mogul because Dad worked there. It's Michigan. I'd look at GM. I'd look at Ford. I was always a dork, so I would look at Apple. I would look at IBM. And I don't know why, but I was always just drawn to that. I think, again, being a guy that was interested in computers, it's like you open up that sheet and it almost looks like code, for lack of a better term. And I think, like that, back then I was programming in BASIC. And dorks will know, like, your first program is like 10 print, hello world, and then you do the second line, like go to 10, and it prints whole hello world over and over again. And that was like an amazing accomplishment in programming. But I think I was drawn to that for some reason. And again, small town Michigan, obviously had no place to go, from there. Plus, I'm in 4th grade. And then, get to high school. Yeah, I was always interested in technology, was always a computer guy. And, high school, you take like an economics class, you like get a free subscription to the Wall Street Journal. Started reading the Wall Street Journal in high school. I've subscribed ever since. Well, help me out, Dow Jones. Help me out. I've been a subscriber for like 35 of my 47, years.
Let's get this man discount. Let's get him a birthday year a subscription.
So then, now I'll speed it up a little bit because I've told this story a lot. Yeah, I get to college. I'm delivering pizza. It was the mutual fund boom. Mutual funds. I mean, Kim might remember that. It was just like, it was the thing. And I started putting $50 of my pizza delivery money into a mutual fund. Never made any money, but I was in the game. I was, remember, this is you'd send in the card for the prospectus. You'd wait 2 weeks for the prospectus. Then you'd send, we talk about instant fills right now. You'd get filled in like 6 weeks back then. So anyway, of course, just got, again, kind of keeping my feet wet, then start the business. I missed the dot-com boom because the business was just getting started in 96 when I was 22 years old. Bootstrapped everything, my partner and I, $100 paychecks back then, and some team we did, and basically we pulled $100 out to buy food and rent, and that was it. And then business matures, early 2000s, post-dot-com boom. I got a little bit of money. I start getting interested in the markets and start trading a little bit. Zero success because I'm trading real stocks, boring stocks. A good year was break even. Fast forward to 2007, I get recommended by Amazon, Tim Sykes' book, An American Hedge Fund. Everything changed from there. I was just like, holy cow, penny stocks. 2007, 2008 was the financial crisis. Every stock that popped crashed. Started shorting stocks, started finding consistency. Fast forward through to 2013, business was mature. I was bored. Finance way more interesting. Sell the business, go into trading full time. Find out how lonely. I mean, again, I think a lot of you know, whether it be my social media or the podcast, I like talking to people. I like interacting with people. It's I do these live streams every day because it's fun to talk to people. Totally. Sitting in your office all day long in middle of nowhere, Michigan is very lonely. Fortunately, got approached by StocksToTrade in 2015 to come on, teach trading. And since 2015 to now, I've never been happier in my professional life. I freaking love what I do. I've done over 2,500 webinars in 4 years. Yesterday or the day before was MLK Day. Market was closed. I about went crazy. I freaking love what I do. I love teaching this and love helping all of you. So that was supposed to be the short version, right? So
do you have a follow-up question, Stephen, or can I ask one?
I just always found it interesting. There's a couple of questions. It's like, what was the moment that clicked for you? When did you start getting it?
Shorting penny stocks from Tim Sykes. I mean, it was like, that was the first time, because again, it's so much different now. But again, back then it was like, I mean, you always knew penny stocks, all of them failed. Everyone knew that. But pre-Tim Sykes, and I know everyone listening is going to be like, yeah, right, old man. People thought it was like illegal to short penny stocks. People thought you could not do it. And number two, 2007, 2008, like, I bet you if you polled 90% of the population and asked them what short selling was, they wouldn't know. Yeah. It's so much different now. And once I was like, because I've always, you guys know, you and Kim and Steven, and probably the listeners, I'm very, I'm very skeptical of a lot of stuff. I'm that guy that, like, when someone's yapping, I'm like, yeah, maybe, and once I was always like, all these penny stocks are scams. Once I found out I could make money shorting them, I was like, whoa. And that's when, like, the clicking started happening.
Yeah. It's like a best kept secret, right? You need to like make as much money as you can before that people figure it out. But then you can't make a lot of money because you can't get the borrows back then.
Yeah. Which speaking of, on that note, it just published yesterday. So to the listener, we did a podcast with the founder of Trade Zero, and what I could have done in 2007 to 2012. If Dan, where were you, my man? Where were you back then? But anyway.
All right. So
back then, it was just like, you would be like, oh, this is so great. This is so great. You know, no locate, no locate, no locate. Change brokers. Maybe you'd get a locate for a couple weeks, but then everybody would change brokers. And then the borrows would dry up. And it was just like, so.
All right. So I have a question about what your day-to-day looks like now. Like, take us through, not just with regards to how your trading goes, but just your life. Like, what time do you wake up? What's your kind of pattern and or habits for the?
So I get up 90% of days at 4:30 to 4:45 Eastern. Start drinking coffee, start getting my old man bones warmed up. I got to move around. I mean, it's like when you're the age I am, you know, I mean, I take care of myself when it comes to exercise and nutrition, but I beat the shit out of myself. I mean, I cut firewood. I built my own house. I beat the hell out of myself and always have. So it takes a long time to get warmed up. That's when I do kind of like book reading. I'm reading Wall Street Journal, Bloomberg, Barron's every single day. Trying to get a read on what's coming up, what's happening in the market, what trends are. And I just don't care about anything else. I don't care about sports. I don't care about pop culture. I don't care. I mean, I listen to, 30-year-old country music songs. That's fine with me. I don't care who's hot now. I don't care about any of that stuff. I care about, going back to that fourth grade story. For whatever reason, I'm just drawn to this. I care about business and finance. And that's why, I had that. I mean, again, as a pizza delivery guy, I set every franchise record, for deliveries and dollar amounts delivered. I mean, it was just, I've always just been in that hustle mindset, business mindset. So by the time I get warmed up and drink a pot of coffee, it's 6 a.m. That's usually when I try and lift weights, or do something every day, 6 to 6:45. Then I'm in chat, the SteadyTrade team chat every day before 7 a.m. or around 7 a.m. So that's when I start the day helping people in the mentorship program, answering questions all the way up.
And anybody can pop into that, right, Tim? That's on Instagram.
Nope. This is the SteadyTrade team.
Oh,
so this is the mentorship program. Yep.
Got it. Okay.
So then 8:30 Eastern, I go live on Instagram Live, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Periscope, and that's the open one that I've been doing since the coronavirus hit. Live every day, open Q&A for everybody. Then
how many people do you usually have in there?
So on Instagram, we're at about 3,000 live right now. YouTube, I think we're 1,500 or so, and then a couple hundred each. I think Periscope might be almost 1,000. I think I'm hitting about 5,000 live across all of the networks.
It's like you're a rock band or something.
5,000. There's 7.8 billion people on the planet.
You're pulling small arenas there.
Exactly. And then what happens after you finish up with the live Instagram?
8:45, I eat 6 poached eggs, or I alternate between 6 poached eggs and 3 fried eggs and bacon, depending on the day. So breakfast, more coffee. 9 a.m. I'm live with the SteadyTrade team. Again, Steven's there a lot of days, 9 to 9:45. Then 10 a.m. comes around. Then that's when I'm normally doing the writing, the blog posts, the books, or recording the YouTube videos. Like if you watch the StocksTrade YouTube, you'll see a lot of the videos are quote unquote more produced. So doing the YouTube, doing newsletters. I'm working on that swing trade newsletter right now. I've got the penny stock letter that I also work on. I'm doing 3 or 4 newsletters at this point. Do the podcast, work with the team at StocksToTrade, and then I'm back live at 3:30 in the afternoon for another webinar up till the market closed. And then 4 p.m. I'm usually cutting some wood, doing something around the house. 5:30 to 7 o'clock is family time, hanging out with the family, doing stuff with them. And then 8 p.m. is usually like a Magnum PI rerun. And then 9 p.m. is bed, and then I repeat it again.
What do you eat for dinner?
Typically, I mean, it's almost always something meat based. whether that be venison or, ribeye steaks, New York strips, and then a side of like, most time it's like frozen vegetables or something. They have these really cool packs now that I'm really hooked on, of like these big bags of broccoli. They're those steamer bags. You just put them in the microwave, you steam it. And then I've got this badass speed oven, it's called, it'll do a prime or a ribeye or New York strip in 8 minutes, because it uses this halogen light, puts grill marks on it and everything. So, so yeah, meat and vegetables. So
I was thinking what could be a good birthday present for you. And
gallon of water a day, thanks to Kim. So
best birthday present I could get you is signing you up to Hell Week with the Navy SEALs. That's probably, I can't think of a better present for you.
Again, I'm too too
if you caught pneumonia, you would be delighted.
Well, yeah. So, but the shoulders and knees, I don't think you can take it. Yeah, and the neck. The neck's one of the worst parts. So,
oh no,
I got I think I've got about 20% range of motion on my neck, but too many stupid things I've done. Too many concussions.
What'd you do to your neck?
Football, wrestling, squatting, deadlifting, benching, stupid shit like that.
And what are the books that you like to read? Not necessarily the titles, but like the topics.
It's one of those things where I will be the first to admit they call it productivity porn. I don't consume traditional porn, but I consume a lot of productivity porn. And when I say that, it's just, geez, I don't know if there's a bigger book industry than the self-help. But yeah, again, you worked at bookstore, but anyway, bookstore. It's like the self-help section is usually like 80% of the store.
So true.
But again, I think that, I enjoy reading, and I think, even if you just pick up one little thing, and then actually one endorsement I could give everyone is, if you like fiction, I recently read the entire Foundation series by Isaac Asimov. Wow. I inhaled that. I think it's 10,000 pages from a whole series. And then the other old, and then the current suggestion that I can't recommend enough is by, speaking of Navy SEALs, Jack Carr, the Savage Son series. Whoo, man. Now it's perfectly in my wheelhouse. The protagonist is a Navy SEAL, which I never served in the military, but different time, different world. I would have loved to have been a SEAL. He drives a Land Cruiser, with an 88 Land Cruiser, which I would drive. He wears Solomon shoes like I wear. He drinks Black Rifle coffee. He has all the guns. He's got way more guns than I have, but the guns I have, he has. But anyway, check out the Savage Son series by Jack Carr. If you like Jason Bourne type stuff. So
and what do you do that you would say is fun? What do you consider fun, and where do you get your fun fix?
I tell you, and this shows what a boring old man I am, but if I got like a day where, say, the wife and kids go off somewhere, and I just got a day to myself, me and the dog, it's coffee and books. It's the most boring thing in the world, but that goes back to as a kid too. I've always been an avid reader. I still have my comic book collection. It's like, but yeah, if I've just got a me day, it'd be coffee, my dog, a fire, and a book. So.
What's your goals? Do you have goals for? I know one of your goals, because I remember you saying at a conference, would be to live till you were 110 or 120.
125. 125.
125. I remember you saying that a couple of years ago at a conference. But do you have any interim goals, like for 1 year, for this time next year, or like any trading goals, any teaching goals, mentorship goals?
It's basically where I'm at is, it's and Stephen, you and I talk about this a lot, and you texted me the other day, and geez, I hate to go here, but Stephen texted me the other day about a listener of the podcast that had actually passed away prematurely, and his partner texted Stephen and was like, listen, wanted to let you know that he passed away in an accident, but you guys made an enormous impact on him, in his trading, personally, etc. And just, I mean, it's like that, I mean, and again, that's an extreme example, but Kim and Steven actually were, yeah, I mean, they sent out a email and had people reply to it. And, you know, and so many people are like, you're helping with my trading, but I'm healthier now. I've got better habits now.
Yeah.
I'm making better choices now. And, you know, it's like, how do you put a number on it? But it's like, I just want to, at the end of the day, if I'm here another day, another year, another 100 years, I just want to leave the world a better place. And if I can help somebody, you know, pursue their passion, and you know, and because that's, I mean, that's most people that succeed at trading, or people that love it. You know, it's, we talk about that a lot. I mean, it's like, you see the get rich quick, the I want the money people, they kind of come and go, but the people that love it, they're the ones that stick around. I mean, Steven's one of those. I mean, he was infected day one, and that's why he's still here. And, you know, and if I can make, whether it be a small, medium, large impact on people's lives, and, you know, and be a positive role model. I mean, I used to coach a lot of youth sports. You know, it's one of those things where, I mean, and that's really, I tell you, that was back kind of pre-retirement when I sold the business. I was doing a lot of little league, a lot of football, a lot of basketball. And that's where I really got the itch, man. When you've got, like, you know, sixth graders, seventh graders, eighth graders, and you see them. I mean, listen, I remember this kid, great kid, Jeremy was his name. First day of Little League, you know, kid's 12, okay? And listen, I'm not picking on anybody because the kid was awesome, but first day of Little League, 12-year-old kid, he puts his glove on his throwing hand and tries to throw the ball with his glove, okay? That was the level of baseball knowledge. Didn't have a dad. Well, yeah, obviously had a dad, but, you know, single mom, drops him off at practice, drives away, doesn't even say hi to you. You know, I mean, here I'm like, okay, I guess this kid's on the team, throwing the ball with his glove, and God damn it. So, you know, God damn it.
It's beautiful.
You know, the last game of the season, you know, that he's like, you know, when we had a killer season too, and, you know, he starts crying because he's like, we don't want to practice on Monday, you know? And I'm like, no, man, you know, the season's over. Yeah. And here the kid, I mean, he's hitting, he's throwing, you know, and damn it.
Anyway. This is what talking about the Navy SEALs and guns.
Yeah, exactly. Where's my gun? I got a knife.
So what happened to this boy?
Oh, again, you know, as far as I know, he's doing great. He was just the same grade as my son. You know, I would see him years later, saw all the guys, you know, and I, you know, he's out of high school now, but, always seemed, you know, I'd see him always say hi, you know, and I think he was doing well, you know, and you know, as much as, you know, the whole throwing the ball with the glove thing, but it was just like, I felt like I really made an impact in that kid's life, and he's just one of many, you know. And,
absolutely.
And that's where I got the bug for help, you know, for coaching more than anything. And when StocksToTrade approached me, and they're like, "Listen, you love this stuff. You've been in the game, you know, and will you do that?" And
exactly
that and listen, when it comes to trading, there's a lot of people. I mean, we saw Kim sent the TikTok clip. There's some people in the trading world that they don't even know to put the ball in the fucking glove, man. It's exactly. So if I can help those people, then there's my goal. So
yeah. So my question is, where
assholes?
I know
make me fucking cry on camera.
I know. I'm sorry.
What's this gonna do to my goddamn reputation?
It's a tough guy. I know you're gonna hurt us later, I'm sure. So where do you think you get your heart from? Your beautiful heart that cares about not just kids that don't know how to play baseball, but the traders. Like in the tribute that we did yesterday, one of the women said, "Thank you for listening to my repetitive, basic beginner questions." Where do you think your heart and your patience and care come from?
Being a parent. I mean, it's like, listen, and I know in today's world, I don't know, it's like, the whole kind of, and not to get too philosophical, I know that the whole traditional family values can kind of be not cool or even looked down on in some circles. Listen, as much as I respect Dan Bilzerian, he ain't exactly setting a good role model for young men out there. But I mean, listen, you got to make the right choices. You gotta have your stuff squared away, as Jocko would say. But I can't recommend being a parent enough to anyone. It changes you big time, man. I look back to, my son was born in 2002 and I was a different man. I was a different man pre-2002 and it changes you fast.
Wow.
And I think it changed, now you got to be there, back to absentee parents, dad not there, mom drop. I mean, again, doesn't even introduce yourself to the coach. You got to be there like anything. I mean, obviously you got to show up every day, but
for sure.
But if I had, why do I, care so much? I mean, it's like parenting. It changes you in a good way, in my opinion.
Did you see that coming? Like, did you hear that and not believe it? And then the day your son was born, was it just like kind of an aha moment?
Again, like, my family's always been close, great parents. I feel blessed. I mean, we never had a lot. But we never needed anything either. We were kind of that classic blue collar family where, I mean, listen, it's not like I had, holes in my pants, but I had 2 pairs of pants and 1 pair of shoes. And, meanwhile, my daughter, her walk-in closet, she's got more shoes than Imelda Marcos. But, so, I think just, and again, a loving family, mom was blessed that she worked part-time at the post office 2 hours a day, so we always had that. I was never like a latchkey kid, or we always had that close knit family. And that was one thing too. Like, as soon as my son was born, my wife, she's been a stay-at-home mom ever since. And I don't know, I think it's a bummer, Tom, but I think the cycle repeats. And my parents had, solid families. My mom had 13 brothers and sisters. And I just think that, again, if you can do that, and if you had shitty parents or you had a shitty growing up, I mean, you don't have to repeat that cycle. But ultimately, I just think I was blessed. I was blessed to be born in small town Michigan. Had a mom that was always there, had a dad that was home at 3:30. It's not like so, but
yeah, totally. Steven, do you have a question? I have another one, but I feel like I asked a couple in a row.
No, it's just I just thought it was an interesting statement. It's interesting that you can't choose your parents and you can't choose your environment. But the good thing about the internet is you just need to see one message. Yep. You just need to tap into one club, and then all of a sudden you're part of a bigger community that can really shape. If you have it, it can shape it. If you have that desire, it can shape it for you. So I just think that's super cool. And I guess everyone on the podcast here and anyone who's doing the education, they're kind of leveraging on that opportunity. I think it's just something really nice. And as for questions, after 4 years of talking to him, I don't know if I have too many. No, I know everything about him.
And it's like, back to that, and that's why, I just feel like if someone's looking to me for mentorship or advice or whatever, I'm going to give you everything I got. And, I go back to, not to go back to the Little League thing, but, I ran bases with kids, I mean, basketball coaching, we'd end the practice, with whoever missed the last shot had to run 100 laps around the gym. That was me a lot of the times. I put it all out there. And, I think it's the best way to live is live a life of service, because, it's like, I got enough time for me. I can read my books and I can watch my Magnum PI reruns, but,
and don't forget Dancing with the Stars.
Exactly. But again, that's for my daughter, but I got hooked. Totally. But yeah, there's just, And I think that I don't care what business you're in. I mean,
Mhm.
Kim used to be an executive assistant. It's like, if you do everything you can to make your boss better, he's either going to give you a raise or someone's going to poach you, or and
right.
it's like, and all of a sudden, like I said, and hopefully this doesn't sound like bragging, but I started working the day I turned 16. Again, my family, dad bought me $100 car. Okay. 1980 Olds Omega. Okay. And, $100 car, paid for it, but gas is on you. I mean, you want gas money? That thing can sit there, but if you're earning your own money. So I went to work my 16th birthday for my cousin at his grocery store. And by the time I was 17 and a half, I was managing the beer cooler. I was like one of the second highest in the entire store, and I go to deliver pizza. I mean, it's just do what you can wherever you're working. And I don't care what you're doing. If you're bagging groceries or delivering pizzas, do what you can to help your boss, help the business. And, it comes back is what I'm getting at.
Yeah. Yeah. So it sounds a little bit like you just gave us some of your philosophy. What would you say is the rest? If you had to put your kind of perspective on life, perspective on work, what would you say that philosophy is?
I steal this. Well, I kind of always had this philosophy, but the Jocko Willink kind of hit the mainstream about 4 years ago. Go back and listen to the Tim Ferriss podcast with Jocko. That's when he went from, the Navy SEAL credo of, be the silent professional, you don't talk about what you do. Then he goes on Tim Ferriss podcast and, and Jocko's philosophy, I stole it. It's just, try and be, smarter, faster, stronger every day. And I why there's enough mediocrity in the world. There's enough laziness in the world. Especially now with the internet, we've got so much potential, so much that you can do. And again, it's Joe Rogan. I mean, it's like, buy a $50 kettlebell and start swinging that thing. There's nothing stopping you from being the best version of yourself other than you, barring terrible circumstances. I mean, again, if you're, there's a lot of people in shitty places, but the majority of us in the US, by far the majority, you've got unlimited access to potential, and just start grinding. And why waste it? I want to live to 125, but probably more realistically, it's 85, it's 90, that's 25,000 days or whatever that is. And, it's not long. It's not long. So,
and on the other side of that day, whether it's 125 or not, what do you want people to say about you?
I guess I would and I know, you give me a lot of crap about this. It's just that he cared more about others than himself. And you're going to yell at me about that, and probably justifiably so, because the old saying goes, you can't take care of others if you don't take care of yourself. But I don't care who you are, if my flight gets canceled, I'm the guy that's smiling, hey, anything I can help you with, I realize everybody's yelling at you right now, help them first, or my food's late at the restaurant. I'm smiling. I'm happy. I want to help others, and I want to, do the best I can to make the world a better place. And, whatever way I can do that in small ways, say thank you, hold doors open, whatever it is, I'll do that. So help you move, again. And if you're, again, Kim lectured me about this a year and a half ago. If you need your goddamn couch moved, I'm the guy to call, because I'll drop all my shit to help you move that stupid ass couch. But
and that is just not something I'm going to be ever an advocate of unless you're in my neighborhood. and then it would totally change. All right. So here's a question. What is the kind of adventure or trip that you have not done but it's still a dream of yours, something like really out of the box that you've always hoped to do one day?
Oh, geez. I mean, as much as Steven jokes about Hell Week, I've really wanted, like Garrett White runs a school a lot like that. I would love to do some sort of like, old man compatible, like team building, or even, shit. Oh crap. What's his name? Anyway, they're the 20X. They've got that 20X Navy school seal for civilian type stuff. Would love to do some sort of multi-day type thing like that. Would be cool, especially if it involved, firearms, etc. So which I'm going to Tim Kennedy's school, but that's only a 1-day thing in a couple weeks. But
that should be fun. That should be fun for you. All right. And so any trip or any place on the planet that like you're busting to see that you haven't gotten to yet?
Oh man, so many. I tell you, it's interesting, man. Especially like the Netherlands, like the architecture and stuff. I mean that's again kind of like the stuff that I really would like. I would love to see Europe because of the architecture, and I've never been to Europe. So if it was just like a pleasure trip, well, sure, fair enough.
You've never been?
Nope. I've never been to Europe at all. Nope. So.
There's a spare bedroom in my parents' house. There's still one. There's still one left just down the hall.
Fair enough. So, but yeah, I mean that because again, I've always been, that, and you just look at some of the stuff like, or Switzerland I mean, if I guess if I had to pick one, it'd probably still be Japan. I'm a huge fanboy of the Japanese culture. So as much Europe, Japan, I guess those old, obviously those are a couple of the oldest cultures in the world. So
yeah, for sure. And what would you say is your guilty pleasure?
Pizza, fucking pizza. I'd probably be 5 pounds lighter if it wasn't for pizza. So,
homemade pizza? Is this homemade pizza? Or is this like pizza parlor?
Yeah,
pizza parlor.
Or even hell, even if listen, if you show up with Domino's, I'm like, but like for me, sweets have absolutely no attraction. No, I mean, actually, I kind of like donuts are disgusting. Like cookies, I'm like, like sweets, no attraction whatsoever. But if you're like, hey, Tim, you've been fasting for 16 hours, here's a pizza, I'm in trouble. Even as much as I eat steak, like if you're like, hey, here's a steak, I could be like, oh, I'm okay, or whatever. But pizza's like, I fall apart. So
all right, 3 people, dead or alive, that if you could pick to meet and spend today with, who would they be?
Ayn Rand would be number 1. Man, thanks to you, I got to meet Jim Rogers. That was pretty cool. Dead or alive, man. I mean, I'd love to meet Jocko. There's a live one, so
Joe Rogan, gotta be.
Yeah. So there you go. Fair enough. Yep.
Okay.
Ayn is the dead, and then Joe and Jocko. So
wouldn't it be fun to have?
I technically met Joe.
You did?
Well, after a concert, wife and I got our picture taken with him, but I guess that doesn't count. Like Steven said, like a conversation, an hour, hang out with Joe for an hour. That's that. Yeah. So yeah, Jocko, Ayn, and Joe. Yeah. So
interesting list. It'd be interesting to have them all together being met at the same time. All right. So what would you say is the most important advice that you give to traders, to the listeners now? What do you think are like the most
Steven knows
bullet points?
Steven, answer this question.
The best advice that you give to it's obviously don't. I mean, there's a couple of things. It's know what you own, but it's also don't short low float green days.
No, what did I tell you on day 1, man?
Oh, never quit.
Yeah,
never quit.
I mean,
don't quit.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was a bit slow there. I was a bit behind. I'm like racking me up. I'm like,
Let me guess. You're probably short OBLN or something right
now. No. I'm not.
No. But that would be, again, there is. It's so hard. Okay. I mean, obviously I didn't start in the 4th grade, but I started like studying again. This is before all the resources we have now, but probably about 2005 was when I was like, man, it's time. The business is doing good. I got a little money in the pocket. I don't have to work as much. And again, God bless Tim Sykes, for that book. That thank you, Amazon. But I was 5-6 years until, again, you talk about that click. And I think it can be shorter now, thanks for all this technology out there. But I mean, what if I would have quit at year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4? But I just was always like, and this thing, I think you gotta, and I hate to discourage any of you, I think you gotta have the bug. Okay. Yeah. And I had the bug and I just wouldn't give up, kept reading every freaking book I could find. But that would be the biggest thing, is just realize there's a million different things you need to know. There's a million different, like, just the bibliography, okay? Just the terminology. Then you got to learn the patterns. Then you got to learn yourself. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, you could read every book in mankind in trading, but the first time you're upside down on some, again, I mean, because this is the panic point where everybody gets, you're short some OBLN, this is a stock that's gone from $1.60 to $10 today. And you're like, and you see your account equity going, and it's just you with your finger on that trigger. That, and so you gotta do the textbook time, and then you gotta do the discipline time. So that's it. Just stay in the game. And if that means you go back and forth between paper trading, if that means you're trading 10 shares of a freaking $1 stock, just don't blow up. And if you do blow up, listen, it happens.
Yeah.
Go back to paper trading, but keep showing up and, do a payroll deduct on your paycheck to put $200 a week or $200 a month back in your trading account. Keep reading, keep studying paper trading. And when you get back up to $1,000 account, but stay in the game. That's the biggest thing. So,
but what's the hardest thing you've ever done?
Being a parent, man.
Oh,
did you want trading specifically?
No. I want the truth. I want the truth.
I think if this goes back to earlier, the reason it's so rewarding is it's the most challenging thing you will ever do. I mean, day one, changing diapers, screaming kid that won't sleep, a mom that's been up for 2 days and you got a screaming kid that won't sleep and you got to go to work in an hour and then, toddlers, and trying your patience, man, and breaking legs, and they're screaming in your arms my daughter broke her fucking ankle 3 places. It's like, and it's just like, and they get in trouble or they, and it's just like, now.
Sounds fun. Sounds fun to me.
That's why it's so rewarding, man. It's and just like trading, it's a motherfucker, but that's what makes it so rewarding. If it was easy,
it wouldn't be fun.
What would be the point? Yeah. So. And
it never ends as well, right? It kind of never ends. It's the same thing with trading. It's the same thing with parenting. It doesn't end. It doesn't really end.
Look at your parents. They got your 38-year-old ass home back, so.
Do you know?
They're probably back changing your diapers too.
My mom and dad were like, you drink a lot. It's like, all right, no worries. I'll do dry January. That'll make you happy. They're like, you're not running much. Like, I'll be out running. I'll get out running. So like, I'm not drinking, not going out, never out because of the lockdown, not running a lot. And then the other day I got, you've got a lot of crisps on your salad? Like, Ma, I want crisps on my salad. I'll put crisps on my salad, like chips, like the Doritos, whatever.
Yeah.
If I want them on my salad, like, a parent's job is just to pick and pick and pick and pick because that's what you guys do.
That's so funny, Stephen. You're like, all right, I'm crossing. There's a line in the sand now.
I'm like, wow, I've come pretty far. But
Let go of my crisp.
The crisps is a line too far. I haven't ate 3 too many. I've ate enough. I eat what I want.
It's precious. It's really precious. All right, advice to people about life. We're gonna wrap this up. So this has to be, like carved into the cement for life.
Well, I know, again, on my social media, I joke. Well, it's joking, but it's not. But just have that positive mindset, man. I mean, it's like, I know I talk about like Steven Pinker all the time, but it's like, there's a lot bad in the world, but it's been a lot worse. Okay. And listen, never been safer, never been more opportunity, never had the internet, never were able to talk to people across 2 oceans simultaneously, never had YouTube. Listen, if you can come up with $60 a month, you got unlimited access to information and you can learn anything. I don't care if you want to be a mechanic. Look at Rich Rolls, on YouTube. The guy just decides he wants to work on Tesla. Now he's making crazy money wrenching on Teslas out of his 1-car garage. I mean, there is, there's guys, I'm watching their YouTube channels. They just cut firewood, but they got, they get free tools, they get free equipment, they get free exposure. Find what you're interested in. And I don't know how you do that. Try a bunch of shit, okay? Yeah. Try a bunch of stuff. But just know that, have that positive mindset. And it's hard, but man, it's just what's the way I want to put it? Just every day is a potential to get better and to achieve your dream. There's barring, again, extreme situations, prison, cancer, extreme poverty. Okay. If you're in that situation, I get it, but you can start working and you can start grinding your way out of that, man. Start sweeping floors somewhere. I started out sweeping floors, okay, at a grocery store. So,
flipping Big Macs was best job I've ever had. Borderline better than trading.
What was it, Stephen? What was
flipping
it?
Big Macs at McDonald's, 15 years old. Lied about my age. Dad made us lie about my age so I got a job.
Wow.
See, and that's interesting. It's like you look at where Steven is, and here he is lying about his age to work at McDonald's, and here he is achieving his dream. It's like, wonder if those two things are correlated.
Exactly.
Jocko lied about his age to get in the military, and it's like, so not saying you should lie, but my point is Steven didn't want to wait to start hustling. Jocko didn't want to wait. He always had the dream of being in the military. I'm not going to wait. I'm going to make this happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Steven, any last questions for Tim?
No. I just want to commend him for the hard work, the positive attitude, and the inspiration and the education that he's not only given to me, but he's given to tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people. So thank you for that. You loved and appreciated. You've certainly shaped and changed my life. Someone I look up to deeply. One of the very few role models I've got. So just thank you. And
I want to say, just like you've changed my life, Tim. I have so much fun with you and with Steven. And I'll never forget episode 100 when you guys first interviewed me. And I just was like, who is this guy? And then I start, of course I looked at you guys beforehand, but afterwards, you just constantly remind me to focus on the glass half full. And that has just had such a huge impact on me. So just thank you for your love, support, encouragement. And I promise I will be a trader eventually. Thank you for your patience.
The only promise I want out of you is that you're going to have Nicole edit out that part where I cried. That's all I want. So
I can't make promises. I can't. I try not to lie. So, but if you insist, we'll do whatever you want. But I think it's a beautiful, special moment. So Thank you for watching. And please, in the comments, give Tim your birthday wishes and just let him know how much you've touched, how much he's touched your life and your trading. And thank you, Tim Bohen, for being who you are. We all love you here at StocksToTrade and SteadyTrade. And we're very lucky to know you. So have a happy, happy birthday.
Thanks, guys.